Hey, this is Jersey Jones with Jersey Jones Sports. I buy, sell, flip, collect, trade cards on the internet. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Whatnot. I have an eBay store. I'm all over the place. I have a big personal collection. I've been collecting cards since the late 1980s, since I was a little kid. I can't stop and I don't want to stop. Let me show you the top 5 grabs I've made this week across the internet platforms. Before we start this video, I want you to tell me what your favorite cards are on your PC in the comments. And also, if you got anything cool or exotic this week in the last 7 days across the internet platforms, let me know what you picked up. The comments and a like on these videos really help us in the algorithm, and I really appreciate you supporting my channel by watching my videos. Like and subscribe. This is not exactly too exotic. This is a 1986 Topps Nolan Ryan. Now, I know what you're going to say. These cards are expensive, but you have to dime them because the edging is just terrible up here on the black. This one's an exceptionally clean one, but it's got its own issues. This is a 1986 Topps bottom case, hand cut. This is Don Mattingly.
Mattingly, get rid of those sideburns.
What sideburns?
You heard me, hippie.
These cards came one per case of Topps, so it's short print. As you can see, it looks different. All these cards have the coloring of a team with a black border. This one is red. This one wasn't cut particularly good by whoever cut it, but it's way more rare than this card. Here's another example. This is Cal Ripken Jr. Black border, right? This red Yankees logo is what makes it different from everything else. Again, not so clean. Whoever cut this didn't cut it great. There's a little bit of black border still on top. The camera doesn't really pick it up. Well, maybe it does. And then the camera doesn't really pick up how bad the surface damage on this thing is. There's a little scratch here. I don't have great light, but you can tell. Yes, this is a little bit rare. Yes, it's exotic. A lot of you guys are seeing this card for the first time. I saw it and I had to get it. Plus, it's Don Mattingly. So anyone not familiar with Don Mattingly, Donald Arthur Mattingly is a legendary Yankee. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he was a fan favorite for like 10 years. He should have been in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. He might get there eventually. Players might vote her in, or however that one is where they let you in like way after it's over and you shouldn't be in. Multiple Golden Glove winner, MVP, Yankee stable for, like I said, 10 plus years. He was our hope in New York when there was no hope in New York. He was our guy. Our next card on the list is going to be yet another Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball. This one looks like a regular 1987 Topps. Here is a regular 1987 Topps. This is Ken Griffey. That's Ken Griffey Jr.'s daddy. We have Ken Griffey Jr. because of this dude. This is a Topps Tiffany 1987. And it is in a PSA 9. It's specified with a TM on front. See right there, a little TM, the trademark. I don't believe it's supposed to be there. I believe this makes an error, and it is the Tiffany error. So I saw this card in a PSA 9 and I had to have it. This is the regular 1987. The way you can tell Topps with Tiffany's or non-Tiffany's, it's all different by the year, but in general, you can kind of tell that the Tiffany is just way more bright, and when these things are out of the casing, you can see they're just glossy. They're super glossy. These are not. The best way to tell is the back. So if the camera will pick it up, with 1987, there's a little F with an asterisk. That's Tiffany. And then the back of the 87 is way more subdued. Right there, we have a little D with the asterisk. This is the regular version. Regular 1987 Topps, 1987 Tiffany. The shade of the back is different too. And it's just, the camera doesn't pick up the difference in how it looks. The next card I picked up is the man who was just voted into the Hall of Fame, Mr. CC Sabathia. This is a quadruple relic card. I bought this from a local dealer where I live in Delaware. Not a ton of Yankees fans down here, despite that this place being loaded from New York. At least there's not a lot of dudes that buy baseball cards. CC Sabathia is an absolute freaking gamer. He made a legendary run when he was playing and traded to the Brewers, from the Indians to the Brewers, starting on 3 days rest for like the last month of the season. And this dude had a killer fastball. He had a great circle change. He could throw a 12-6. He was a great player. The best thing about Sabathia is that he was an absolute dog, and he's willing to put it on the line for his team. He wanted to win more than anything. Best champions and our heroes growing up are the guys that were willing to do anything to get the win. Sabathia, one time, I had a bonus freaking riding on him getting a certain amount of innings or ERA or strikeouts or completed games. And one of his guys got thrown at in the game. And he knew, being warned already, if he threw back and retaliated, they were going to throw him out of the game and he wasn't going to be able to hit the milestone and he wasn't going to get paid. I think it's like $500,000 or some crazy amount of money where he didn't meet the milestone. And I forget who it was. I'd have to look it up, but the dude got up and Sabathia threw at him like immediately and got thrown out of the game. So he sacrificed that money to protect one of his teammates. That's a dude that I respect right there. He didn't care. He wanted to win. He loved the guys on his team. If you're a young baseball player, you're trying to be a champion and you're looking for someone to emulate who's a pitcher, this dude right here. Now, don't emulate the personal life with all the drinking and crazy stuff he was involved in, but watch the guy play baseball, and a dude that later on in his career figured out how to pitch when his stuff wasn't just like straight up gas anymore. That's the guy you want to look at on film. The next card I picked up this week is an Upper Deck Ichiro rookie card. Now, Ichiro is a legend in Japan and America. He's one of the purest hitters to ever play the game. He was an absolute maniac on the base pads. I mean, the dude would hit an infield single, and then before you know it, he was standing on third, and then it could be a fly ball to shallow right field. Ichiro was still lightning fast. He can score. It didn't matter as long as it got into the outfield. He would rip off a million bases. He had a cannon of the arm in the outfield. I mean, this dude was just great. And I think he spent his first 10 years in Japan. So between the league in Japan and the league in America, the MLB, he had 4,000 hits. If Ichiro had come over to America when he was 18 or 19 years old, there's an excellent possibility that he would have passed Pete Rose. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, outstanding player. I saw his rookie card out there. I didn't own one. This one is exceptionally clean. It always helps when you show cards in a mag. I'm not going to lie. When you're looking at them on the internet, they just look so much better in a mag, even though this one is kind of scratched. That's not on the card. That's in the mag. This card is in immaculate condition. It's going to go to SGZ for grading. This is in my personal collection because it's my only Ichiro I have. Like I said, love the dude. I wish he'd come to the Yankees early in his career, but he did the majority of his damage in Seattle, and he was just as stable in their offense. He was just a great, great player for so many years. The last card I'm going to show you is a short print. Like I said before earlier in the video, I collect things that are rare. It's things that I love, but at the same time, it's also things that are rare. Things that are short print, things that I think that people, when they got them, weren't going to hold on to them or thought they didn't maintain any value. I have a bunch of Kmart cards and postcards. I even have a Roger Maris Woolworth card in a slab. So I collect things that I think other people are not going to think they have value, and they just get destroyed or thrown out or maintained poorly. The last card it's a 1991 Topps, but it's not a 1991 Topps. It is a 1991 Topps Desert Shield. And the Desert Shield emblem on there makes all the difference in the world. During the first Iraq War, not the Iraq War that I participated in, Operation Iraqi Freedom 2, Electric Boogaloo, or OIF, whatever that was. This is from the original Desert Storm. When Iraq invaded Kuwait and stole that stuff, and stole the oil and did a bunch of crazy stuff out there and occupied the country, America and a bunch of other countries formed a coalition, and then we went into Saudi Arabia and kind of stood at the border just to make sure they didn't go into Saudi Arabia because, well, we do a lot of business with Saudi Arabia. We're protecting their oil fields. We're stopping the gas prices from going completely out of control. While the troops were sitting over there, Topps and DOD or whoever decided that the troops needed a morale booster. So they asked Topps to make, a run of 6,000, 10,000 of these Operation Desert Shield cards for the boys and girls that were sitting over there in the desert getting ready to go push over the border and go fight the Iraqi army that was supposed to be invincible and all the armored cavalry in Iraq. So while they were sitting there freaking out for I think 10 or 11 months in training, they got a little bored and they got up to shenanigans. You know that they did. So as a morale booster, like I said, they were distributed these cards, and this one is a particularly clean version. I know Dave Winfield in this card is in I think at that time they were called the California Angels. They weren't even the Anaheim or LA Angels. They were the California Angels. And Dave Winfield was a longtime Yankee. He was another bright spot in the 80s when we had just absolutely nothing to celebrate. We had no pitching. We had Ricky Henderson, we had Don Mattingly, and Dave Winfield, but we just couldn't figure it out in any of the rest of the positions. I think at some point, Steinbrenner, the man George, the old man, started beefing with David Winfield or something, and David Winfield was kicked out of New York. But when I saw this card on the internet, and I saw the sharp corners, and I saw the centering, I knew I had to get it. I'm going to send this off to SGC2. That's why it's in this flimsy ultralight plastic, because this is the way you're supposed to ship cards to grading. So it's prepped to go to grading. I'm hoping to get a good grade on it. Because it's exotic, if I can do 8 or better on it, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape with this card. I'm probably not going to sell this anyway. I'm probably going to PC it, but when I saw it on the internet with a $15 price tag, and then I made a deal for $10 to get it, plus like $1.25 shipping, man, it was well worth it. I mean, I love these cards. They're cool. I have like 4 or 5 of them, but this is the only Hall of Famer I have. I have some base Yankees, like I think I have Matt Noakes and I have Randy Velarde, and those were like $4 or $5 cards a piece for something that really isn't worth anything in regular 1991 tops. And it's because, again, this is a short print. It's exotic. So this is the short prints and the things that are exotic and the stuff that people want is what makes the cards value. It's all about the market and what you want to collect. So if for some reason 10 to 15 years from now, Dave Winfield's hot again, he makes the news, God forbid he dies, you know, he's an older guy, he's probably in his 60s, maybe in his 70s, this card goes up in value, and there's only so many of them. So that's the reason I bought it. Making an honorable mention on this list is a vintage. I love vintage. I have a ton of vintage. The man in the picture needs no introduction. This is Whitey Ford, and this is, of course, 1954 tops. You know, it's not a 1952 tops. I do have a couple of those 1952 tops. I don't care who you have, is worth a ton of money, actually. Now, it's not a 1952 tops, which would make them all a short print. This is an excellent representation of what a 1952 tops actually looks like. Looks like absolute crap. It's been bent a million times. This guy, Sheldon Jones from the Giants, somebody wrote on him, someone started taking notes or something. It looks like absolute crap, and this is what the majority of them look like. And on top of that, the 52 tops are short prints because in 1952 or 53, when Topps found out that they couldn't sell that their baseball cards and they were selling so poorly, they actually took hundreds of thousands of these 1952 tops and they got rid of them and pushed them into the Hudson River. So there's a limited amount of 1952 tops. Of course, the iconic 1952 Mickey Mantle is worth so much money because it's Mick's rookie card, and also because it's a short print. And most of the cards kind of look like that, even the ones that sell. So this is 54. This is Whitey Ford. It's in excellent condition. I have pretty good corners all the way around, you know, for 1954 for vintage. And the centering on the front is off just a little bit. It is a beautiful card. The back is in super good shape. A lot of times you see these cards and there's like grease stains and stuff on them, or they're wrinkled or they're creased. This one has none of that. I'm kind of surprised it's only a 5, not maybe like a 6 or something, but man, I love Whitey Ford. So that's your honorable mention. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it and it does well, please hit the like button. Please comment. I'll make other of these videos. I'm constantly buying stuff on the internet anyway. Thank you for sticking with the video thus far. I really appreciate you watching me. I'll see you next time.